Hey everyone. There's a whisper inside you, a quiet call that has likely never stopped. It's probably been with you since you were born, maybe even before. It's that undeniable sense that this reality, this version of life you're currently living, is just a tiny sliver of what's truly possible for you. You feel it in those quiet moments, right? You sense it in your dreams. You get glimpses of it when time seems to dissolve, and something much larger, something almost eternal, just brushes against your awareness. This whisper? It's not just your imagination. It is your direct connection to the quantum field, that infinite, living consciousness that holds every version of you, every possibility, every timeline you could ever conceive of stepping into. And here's the absolute truth, the version of you that is already abundant, healed, fulfilled, and radiant already exists. Not in some distant, far-off future, not after you've worked hard enough or proven yourself worthy, but right now, vibrating in the field, just waiting for you to align with its frequency. This, my friends, is the sacred art of quantum jumping. Now, most people misunderstand what this really means. They think it's some kind of mental exercise, a visualization technique, maybe a clever trick to get what they want. But the mystics, the great spiritual teachers, and even modern pioneers like Dr. Joe Dispenza and Dr. Bruce Lipton, they know something much deeper. They understand that you are not separate from your desired reality, you are intrinsically, quantumly entangled with it. The quantum field isn't some place you go to, it's the very fabric of what you already are. And when you shift your vibration, when you align your mind, your heart, and your body into a coherent state, you effectively collapse into the timeline that has been patiently waiting for you all along. Dr. Bruce Lipton's groundbreaking work reveals something incredible. You are not limited by your DNA, your past, or your current circumstances. Your biology, down to your very cells, responds to your environment, and you are the primary architect of your internal environment. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, sends out chemical signals that ripple through your body, literally shaping your cells and sculpting your future. And Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches us a crucial piece of this puzzle. You simply can't create a new reality while you're still living in the emotions of your old self. If you wake up every morning with the same thoughts, feel the same old fears, follow the same limiting routines, you're just going to collapse the same reality over and over again. To truly quantum jump, you absolutely must break that spell. So, let me tell you something truly sacred, the quantum field responds not to what you merely want, but to what you broadcast. Your desires, your affirmations, even your vision boards, those are often surface-level signals. The true, powerful signal comes from your embodied state, from the frequency you consistently hold in your heart, in your breath, in your very cells. This is precisely why so many people struggle. They try to think their way into a new life, but they're still carrying the heavy emotional residue of the old one. They want abundance, but they're vibrating with a sense of scarcity. They want love, but they're broadcasting fear. They want health, but they're subtly vibrating with doubt. The quantum field can only meet you where you are vibrationally. So here's the invitation for you today, step beyond the surface of your conscious mind. Go deeper, into the felt sense of your being. Imagine that version of you who is already living in the timeline you desire. How do they feel in their body? What kind of energy do they radiate effortlessly? What decisions do they make with ease and confidence? This isn't about pretending, it's about remembering. It's about activating the frequency of the self you were always meant to become. Just pause for a moment now. Close your eyes if that feels right for you. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel that subtle current of possibility that's always running through you. It's been here all along. It's the part of you that knows, without needing external proof, without needing any evidence, that something more is available, that you are meant to live in a state of alignment, coherence, and joyful expansion. This feeling, this knowing, This is the doorway. And in just a bit, we're going to step right through it. We'll explore how the quantum field responds to the dominant signal you send, why your biology and your consciousness are so deeply entwined, and how you can finally break free from the patterns that keep pulling you back into those old, familiar timelines. The real question is, are you ready to remember who you truly are? If you're still here with me, it means something inside you is awake and listening. Maybe you don't quite have the words for it yet, maybe you can't logically explain why, but you feel that pull, that undeniable magnetic tug of a new timeline calling you forward. This, my friends, is the call of the quantum jump, that pivotal moment when you stop waiting for your life to magically shift, and you realize, with profound clarity, that you are the one who shifts. Let's go a little deeper into this because quantum jumping is often misunderstood. People sometimes think it's about just imagining a new life really hard, or hoping for some kind of sudden, external miracle. But in truth, it's about consciously collapsing into a higher vibrational reality, one that already exists as a potential within the infinite quantum field. Here's a bit of the science behind it, in a way we can all grasp. Quantum physics teaches that every possibility, every conceivable version of you, every potential timeline, is already vibrating as pure potential in this vast field of infinite energy. You, right now, are entangled with all of these potentials. But, and here's the absolute key, the observer effect tells us that what you focus on, what you truly observe, what you emotionally invest in, is what collapses that wave of probability into the particle of actual reality. To put it even simpler, your focused attention, plus your emotional state, equals the timeline you experience. Dr. Joe Dispenza's work explains this beautifully. The quantum field doesn't respond to your wishes or your goals in isolation, it responds to the energetic signature you consistently emit. So, if you keep focusing on what's missing in your life, if you keep feeling the emotions of lack, fear, or frustration, you're unintentionally but powerfully collapsing timelines that will simply mirror those states back to you. Dr. Bruce Lipton adds another crucial layer to this by showing how your biology, your physical health, is shaped not primarily by your genes, but by the chemical environment you create inside yourself through your thoughts and emotions. Your body is constantly listening, adjusting, responding. It's not just a passive passenger on this journey, it's an active co-creator. When you combine these insights, something incredibly powerful emerges. Quantum jumping is not just some mind game, it's an act of profound, embodied transformation. Let me illustrate this for you. Imagine two versions of yourself. One version wakes up in the morning, immediately checking their phone, instantly feeling anxious about the day ahead, mentally rehearsing all the old worries and habits. Their body releases stress hormones, their nervous system tightens, and they walk through their world essentially collapsing the same limited timeline they've always known. Now, picture the other version. This version wakes up and, perhaps before anything else, takes a conscious breath of gratitude. They intentionally tune into the feeling of possibility, even before any external evidence of it arrives. They consciously soften their body, open their heart, and align their mind with feelings of trust and expansion. Their body chemistry shifts, their electromagnetic field changes, their signal to the quantum field alters. And the field, in turn, begins to collapse into a new, corresponding reality. Same person, different vibration, different timeline. Now, here's what most people miss: quantum jumping isn't about brute effort, it's about coherence. Coherence means your thoughts, your emotions, your body, and your energy are all aligned, all pointing in the same direction, sending out the same clear signal. No internal contradiction, no inner war, no subconscious pullback sabotaging your conscious desires. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that when you enter a coherent state, you unlock the immense electromagnetic power of your heart, you balance your brain wave patterns, and you literally become a beacon to the quantum field. And Dr. Bruce Lipton shows that when you shift from that chronic survival mode, that fight-or-flight response, into a state of growth mode, characterized by trust and openness. Your biology literally opens the door to healing, regeneration, and new, vibrant expression. So, why can it feel so hard to make this jump sometimes? Because, frankly, most people are, on some level, chemically addicted to their old self. Their body literally craves the familiar emotions of the past, even if those emotions are negative. Their subconscious mind often resists the unfamiliarity of the new, even if the new is what they consciously desire. They try to leap mentally, but their body, their chemistry, keeps pulling them back. This is why embodiment matters so profoundly. To truly quantum jump, you must not only think about the new timeline, you must feel it, breathe it, walk it, become it in your very cells. Let's just pause here for a moment. Close your eyes if you like. Take a deep, slow breath. What timeline have you been unconsciously feeding with your energy? What emotional states have you been rehearsing, perhaps on autopilot, day after day? And what would it feel like, truly feel like in your body, to stand in the vibration of the version of you who has already made that leap? This isn't about forcing change, it's about softening into coherence. It's about remembering that the quantum field is alive, it's waiting, it's incredibly responsive. It's about realizing that your future self isn't separate from you, they are already reaching for you across the veil of time. Before we move forward, I invite you, if this is resonating, if part of you is awakening to this possibility, in the comments below, leave a simple word, or a short phrase, that captures the essence of the timeline you are now ready to step into. It could be freedom, abundance, radiant health, true love, unshakable trust, or anything else that truly lights you up. Let it be a declaration, not for me, but for you, and for the quantum field that is always, always listening. Alright, let's go even deeper into this because you've now understood that quantum jumping isn't about just wishing or wanting, or even visualizing harder. It's about total alignment, a complete vibrational match between who you are being in this present moment and the version of you that already lives in that higher, desired timeline. But here's perhaps the most overlooked truth of all, the leap is not external, it's profoundly internal. When people hear quantum jump, they often imagine something dramatic, some sudden external miracle appearing out of nowhere. But quantum shifts don't happen because the universe suddenly decides to change around you, they happen because you change your internal state, and the universe, in perfect accordance with the observer effect, simply reflects that new state back to you. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches this so powerfully. When you close your eyes and consciously step beyond your physical senses, when you leave behind your familiar identity, your name, your past, your body, your environment, you effectively enter the quantum field as pure consciousness, pure awareness. And from this space of infinite potential, you can begin to create. But creation, true creation, doesn't come from the mind alone. It comes from the heart, the body, the entire energy system working as one unified, coherent whole. You must feel the feelings of your new reality ahead of any external evidence. This is where many people get stuck. They try to think about abundance while still deeply feeling lack. They try to affirm love while still vibrating with underlying fear. They try to visualize healing while still carrying doubt in their cells. The quantum field, remember, doesn't respond to mixed signals, it responds to clear, coherent energy. And Dr. Bruce Lipton's work clearly shows that the subconscious mind runs about 95% of your life. So, if your subconscious beliefs are still programmed by old, limiting stories, like, I'm not worthy, I can't have what I truly want, or, life is always hard, then no matter how hard you consciously try to jump, your biology, your ingrained programming, will likely pull you back. This is why quantum jumping fundamentally requires reprogramming at that deep, subconscious level. So, how do you actually reprogram? You don't do it by fighting the old, you do it by consciously and consistently creating the new. Here's a simplified process. Sparkle Step 1, enter the state beyond the old self. Through practices like meditation, breathwork, or simply intentional focus, consciously step out of your familiar identity. As Dr. Dispenza often says, become no one, nowhere, in no time, just pure awareness, open to all potentials. Sparkle Step 2, activate elevated emotions. Don't just think about your new timeline, truly feel it in your body. What does that version of you who has already made the leap genuinely feel? Is it gratitude? Freedom? Profound joy? Unshakable peace? Intentionally generate these elevated emotions now, ahead of any external evidence. Sparkle Step 3, embody the frequency daily. Quantum jumps aren't usually one-time, dramatic events, they are sustained and stabilized by your daily alignment. This means catching yourself when you slip back into old emotional patterns, consciously breathing yourself back into coherence, and choosing to act from your new, desired state, again and again and again. Sparkle Step 4, trust the field. Let go of the desperate need to control how and when the external shift will appear. Remember, reality rearranges itself around your dominant frequency, not your impatient timeline. The field is always responding. Trust that. Let me give you another quick example. Imagine those two timelines again. In one, you wake up, and you immediately remember everything you're worried about. You check your phone, your body contracts, you rush through your day. Even if you try to manifest something, you're doing it from an underlying state of survival. In the other timeline, you wake up, you take a conscious breath, you connect with your heart, and you intentionally feel into the version of you who is already living your dream life. You then walk, speak, and make decisions throughout your day from that state. You carry it with you, not just for a fleeting moment, but for hours, days, and weeks, until it becomes who you fundamentally are. Which version do you think the quantum field will respond to more powerfully? Quantum jumping isn't a performance, it's not about faking it till you make it. It's about remembering and then consistently rehearsing a new way of being until it literally rewires your mind, your body, and consequently, your life. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this process becoming familiar with the unknown, stepping into uncertainty not with fear, but with a sense of excited anticipation. Dr. Bruce Lipton would call this changing the signal you broadcast, telling your cells a new story through your body's chemistry. Pause again now. Take another deep breath. Close your eyes if you wish. Imagine you've already made the jump. You've already collapsed that old, limiting timeline. You've already fully aligned with your highest, most expressed self. How does that truly feel? What changes inside you, right now, just by entertaining that powerful possibility? Before we continue to the final thoughts, I invite you, if you feel moved, to say it out loud, or even just whisper it to yourself, as a simple, heartfelt declaration, I am ready. You're not speaking to me, you're speaking to yourself, to your cells, to the quantum field. You've actually come farther than you might realize just by engaging with these ideas. You've crossed internal thresholds that most people spend their entire lifetimes just circling. But here's the truth you absolutely need to carry forward: the leap is not the end, the leap is just the beginning. Quantum jumping isn't a singular moment of transformation, it is a continuous, ongoing act of embodiment, a repeated, conscious decision to live as the version of yourself who has already crossed into that higher timeline. The real danger isn't that you'll fail to make the initial leap once or twice, it's that you'll inadvertently fall back into the perceived comfort of the old timeline, not because it's better, but simply because it's so familiar. Every single day, you are faced with these small doorways, these tiny openings where the old timeline and the new potential timeline collide. When a doubt creeps in, when a frustration flares up, when an old, ingrained habit tries to seduce you back, these are not signs that you are failing. These are tests, they are invitations, they are thresholds. The fundamental question is not whether the new timeline is real, it already is, as a vibrant potential. The question is whether you will claim it, again and again and again, until it becomes your new, unshakable home. To sustain this shift, you must become deeply intentional about the energy you feed. Every thought you entertain, every choice you make, every word you speak is an offering. Are you offering it to the old timeline, the one where you perceive yourself as small, limited, fearful, or doubting? Or are you consciously offering it to the new timeline, the one where you know yourself to be expansive, trusting, abundant, and aligned? This isn't about achieving perfection. It's not about never slipping, or falling, or wavering. It's about the frequency you consistently return to, about the vibration you intentionally strengthen with your repeated attention. You see, the quantum field isn't testing you, it is, and always will be, reflecting you. And your true power lies not in trying to force the field to bend to your will, but in aligning so fully with the version of yourself you desire to be that the field has no choice but to mirror that back to you. This is why practices like ritual can matter, not because rituals themselves are magic, but because they serve to anchor your focus, your energy, your intention. When you light a candle with intention, speak an affirmation with feeling, or take a conscious, centering breath, you're not just performing an act, you're planting a flag in your new timeline. You're declaring, I belong here. I live here now. So, let your life become a living ritual. Let your mornings begin not with a rush of old habit, but with a conscious pause, a deep breath, or remembering, who am I choosing to be today? Which version of myself am I feeding with my energy? Let your daytime moments be punctuated by these small, intentional returns to presence, perhaps a hand on your heart, a whispered word of trust, a closing of your eyes to simply feel the energy you are choosing to embody. Let your nights end not in the mindless repetition of the day's worries, but in a joyful rehearsal of the future you have already claimed in your heart. Thank you. Thank you for the life I am stepping into. Thank you for the shift that is already unfolding within and around me. And when you are tested, as you inevitably will be, remember that the test is not a punishment, the test is a mirror. It simply shows you where you are still, perhaps unconsciously, entangled with the old. It invites you to choose again. The test does not ask you to fight the old, it asks you to consciously feed the new, to become so saturated in the frequency of your higher timeline that the old timeline simply dissolves from a lack of nourishment. You are not just manifesting events, you are manifesting a self, an identity, a way of being. The shift you are making is not about getting something, it's about being someone. And that someone is already alive inside you, waiting not to be created from scratch, but to be unveiled. Pause for a moment now. Breathe deeply into your chest, your heart, your belly. Feel where you might be holding tension, resistance, or doubt, not to judge it, but to simply soften it. Gently say to yourself, perhaps even out loud, I trust the leap. I trust the shift. I trust the becoming. Feel the energy inside you recalibrate, even just slightly. This is the work. This is the path. Before we move into the very final part of this journey together, take a moment to anchor this powerful energy. In the comments below, share one practice, one ritual, one small commitment you are making to help sustain your leap. Maybe it's a specific morning intention, a word you will whisper to yourself throughout the day, a gesture you will offer yourself as a reminder. Let it be small, but let it be real. Let it be yours. This space, this community, is here to witness you, to hold you, to remind you that you are not doing this alone. You have arrived at the edge of yourself. And here, at this trembling, exciting threshold, you can feel it, the undeniable pulse of the life you are stepping into. Not the life you merely wish for, not the life you endlessly chase, but the life you are now consciously choosing to embody. The shift you are making is not about adding something new to yourself, it is about peeling away everything that was never truly you in the first place, the fear, the doubt, the inherited stories, the conditioned patterns. They are not your essence, they were merely costumes you learned to wear. And now, here you are, standing bare, heart open, ready to clothe yourself in the authentic frequency of your true becoming. Quantum jumping is not a game of chasing external outcomes, it is the sacred art of remembering. Remembering that the timeline where you are already aligned, already abundant, already whole, already free, exists now. It exists in this breath, in this very moment, in this very heartbeat. And you access it not by forcing, not by striving, but by surrendering into the profound truth that you are, and have always been, a co-creator with the universe. The field responds to you because, on a fundamental level, the field is you. It does not test you, it mirrors you. It does not withhold from you, it dances with your vibration. The more you collapse into coherence, that state where your thoughts, emotions, choices, and energy flow in beautiful unity, the more the quantum field rearranges itself around you to reflect that harmonious state. But here's the secret you need to carry forward with you: the leap is not just once. The leap is daily, hourly, moment by moment. Each breath, each decision, each quiet whisper in your own mind is a crossing point. Are you choosing the timeline where you stay small, apologetic, hesitant? Or are you breathing life into the timeline where you rise, where you claim your power, where you shine without needing explanation or delay? You have everything you need, not tomorrow, not after you fix something or prove something or master something, but now. Here you are, already encoded with the signal of your highest self. You simply need to tune to it, trust it, and consistently strengthen it. Let this be your ongoing practice. Awaken each day, not with a mental checklist of what you must achieve to finally feel worthy, but with the quiet, unshakable knowing that you are already worthy. Walk into your day not as someone desperately trying to manifest, but as someone who is already a powerful manifester by the very way you hold your gaze, the way you speak your truth, the way you consciously soften when tension arises, the way you remember your true self when the old timeline beckons. In moments of doubt, return here, to your breath, to your center, to the still, unwavering truth that you are the portal, you are the bridge, you are the key. There is no separation between you and the version of yourself you long to meet. That version of you is already here, woven into your cells, humming beneath your skin, pulsing in the sacred space between your thoughts. Pause now. Breathe deeply into this present moment. Feel the current of life running through you, not the life you inherited, not the life you may have settled for, but the life you are now consciously choosing. Whisper to yourself, perhaps even aloud, I am aligned. I am leaping. I am becoming. This is not the end of a journey, this is the beautiful start of a new rhythm, a new home frequency, a new relationship with life itself, where you no longer wait, no longer bargain, no longer shrink. You rise. You leap. You sustain. If this journey, these words, have stirred something profound inside you, if you feel that click, that shift, that quiet but powerful, yes, rising in your heart, I warmly invite you to subscribe. Not as a follower, but as a co-creator, a fellow traveler on this path, a being who is here to expand, and align, and remember. And in the comments below, share one word, just one powerful word, that captures the essence of your leap. It could be sovereignty, freedom, love, flow, abundance, or a word that only you truly understand. Let it be a signal, not just to me, not just to this community, but to the quantum field itself. Declare it. Anchor it. Breathe it into the quantum, where it can ripple, echo, and return to you, magnified. Thank you for walking this journey. Thank you for your presence, your energy, your trust. Keep leaping. Keep softening. Keep becoming. Because the truth is, you are not here to merely observe the magic, you are here to be the magic. And when you remember that, when you fully embody that, the quantum always, always responds.